Transitioning from a keto, low-carb lifestyle to more of a balanced living can be mentally draining, physically exhausting, emotionally terrifying. It could be all the things all rolled up in one. And I want to give you an honest experience, maybe a little guidance or reassurance if you are starting to transition into incorporating more carbs or leaving the keto lifestyle, or maybe just trying to incorporate different food groups that you haven't, and you're feeling overwhelmed or terrified of what's next. If you were thinking about what is next, we're going to talk about that. So if you guys are here for it, please stay tuned. Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Danielle. This is Daniela Diaries, and here we are inspiring to inspire you, me, everyone to be the very best version of yourself, whatever version that might be. So if you're looking for a safe place on the internet where you can come, find motivation, be inspired, and just have friends that are kind, cool, and collective, and it's just an overall good place in the corner. It's a good place in the tiny corner of the internet that I have secured for us. It is a safe place. All are welcome. No one is judged. Please stick around. Subscribe. This video a thumbs up. So today I want to talk about transitioning from keto to more of a balanced living. If you guys are new, I kind of made my name on social media with following the keto lifestyle, or kind of a weight loss journey. And yeah, I did keto for a really long time. I think it's a wonderful way of eating, especially if you need it for therapeutic reasons. My husband still follows more of a keto lifestyle. I recently embarked on a transitional journey to more of a fit journey, a fitness journey, a healthy living. Not only did I just start incorporating, all food groups, but I also deep dived into the inner work, the inner self work, the hard stuff. Everybody can lose weight, everybody can, get fit, everybody can do all those things, I felt like the inside needed to be fixed on me. I needed to find out why I was so codependent on food. Why did I use food as a crutch? Why was I constantly in this battle of the bulge? What was really going on? And why did I just put so much emphasis on my physical appearance and not really thought of health as a whole package? So I really deep dived. I went to therapy, and it's been a long process. It's a long journey. I'm still on this journey. I will forever be on this mental health journey. But it was really rewarding, and it really put a lot of things into perspective for myself. One of the things was food, right? A lot of people treat food as either a punishment or a reward. A lot of people villainize food. It's really sticky, especially if you've had a food addiction, which I believe I did. I used food as a crutch for my whole life. And if I was upset with myself, I wouldn't eat. And if I was really upset with myself, I would overeat. And it was just this very sadistic ritual I was on with myself, and it was very just awful. It was really awful for me, and I had to figure that out. So recently, I think it's going to be about 12, 14 weeks now, I have completely came off of following a low carb diet, and I just kind of went into balanced living, more focusing on macronutrients, weight training, not even so much for weight loss, but better health, more body recomposition, and strength building. So it's been it's hard. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people don't ever really talk about life after being on a restrictive way of eating. Whichever way you want to look at it, keto is restrictive because you're essentially restricting an entire food group. So it is restrictive. I'm not saying that you can't do it. It's not realistic to do it for the rest of your life, because you absolutely can, but you are restricting an entire food group. So when you start incorporating these foods back into your way of eating, it's very overwhelming, because the first thing you're going to think of is, because you kind of had it in your mind that like carbs are bad, carbs are going to make me fat, stay away from carbs. Carbs are evil. So when I essentially first started, I went more into a metabolic repair. I've been yo-yo dieting my whole life, and my metabolism has really suffered. I'm 38 years old, so this is, the better part of, I would say, 30 years. I remember at least a good 30 years of dieting. I remember being a little girl, and then, the doctor telling my mom, like, get her from in front of the TV, take away the bag of chips. She can't have chips, she can't have juice. Like I could tell you the doctor's name. I remember exactly everything about him, and him being like, she can't have chips, she can't have juice, she can't have candy, no processed food. She needs to eat salads and chicken. And I was 8. No, my mom was ridiculous. And I remember leaving there crying because I felt awful about myself. And that kind of was the start, you know. And I remember, you know, doing Denise Austin tapes with my mom because, you know, I had to work out because, you know, not every 8-year-old had to be, but the doctor told my mom, you know, you need to start doing aerobics with her. And my mom was, you know, just following the doctor's orders. So she's like, come on, let's do the stair stepper. And I mean, looking back on it, it was really fun. I remember those workouts and, you know, working them out with my mom and stuff. But nonetheless, it was something that stuck with me, and it really made an impact on me. And I always swore that I was never going to do that to my kids. You know, I was never going to ever bring up the idea of what their weight is, because I never wanted them to feel that that something was wrong, you know? So I had to repair my metabolism. So I just kind of went on a kind of maintenance mode. I was like I think it was like 2,200 calories, which is kind of what you want to do. It's basically like a reverse dieting. You want to have you want to eat as much as you can without gaining weight. So since I've stopped keto, I was anywhere between 175 and 180, and I'm still right there. I think I weighed in today at 178, 179, something like that. I don't really weigh in every day or anything like that. I'll kind of bounce on the scale. I can kind of tell by the way I look and the way I feel how things are looking for me. And throughout this process, I basically went into figuring out how my body runs and what foods I need, right? So I went from severely restricting carbs to basically nothing, to having higher fat and moderate protein. And then I transitioned off of that and had excess, like my carbs were my majority of my food, protein was moderate, and then fat was lower. And then I actually been trying to see what works. So I went on another, you know, I kind of switched up my macros, and I was like, all right, let me try having more of a protein dominant lifestyle. And here's the funny thing, right? I went for so long with having such minimal carbs that I was like, you know, my body hates carbs. I can't run off carbs. And like, I would even say that, like, as soon as I have carbs, I feel like crap. And here's the thing, like, I don't know if it wasn't the right carbs or because I wasn't so restrictive. I don't know what that was, but through trial and error, I can honestly tell you my body runs superior. My body runs more smoothly. I feel better. I'm less bloated. I'm less puffy. My skin feels better running on higher carbs. And I'm talking like 220 grams of carbs a day. With, mind you, a lot of and this is total carbs. So when I say that, people's jaws always drop and they're like, oh my God, that's total carbs. So that's, you know, I'm somewhere upwards of 75 grams of fiber. So it's not as crazy. I mean, I'm not sitting there eating a bag of Lay's every day. You know, yes, I'm eating potatoes, but they're like homemade and I'm air frying them. I feel like it's your food is good, right? Food is good. We love food. I mean, I wouldn't be as big as I was if I didn't like food, right? But it's really all in the preparation. You know what I mean? I'll sit down and I'll have a cheeseburger, some French fries, and I'll go to town, right? But here's the thing. I'm making my cheeseburger myself, and I'm using 96% fat, or 96% lean ground beef. I'm having a regular bun. I make sure I get the ketchup that has, you know, sugar-free. And the potatoes I'm making are literally whole white baking potatoes, and I'm chopping them up and throwing them in the air fryer so there's no oil. So it's the same gluttonous meal that we would see at like a Burger King or a McDonald's, but I'm making it at home, and I'm just cutting out all the garbage. So, you know, no food is bad. It's basically the preparation. You know, you can have, you know, some chocolate. You can make chocolate yourself, or if you're going to have it, just have it in small moderation. I feel like that's where I have had to have this epiphany where, like, yeah, I can have that, you know. And even if I go out and I eat, so for example, this morning I took my husband and myself out for our anniversary is on Monday, and you know, our kids are going to be home, and this was the only day we're going to have together. So I was like, hey, let's go have a nice breakfast for our anniversary. So I took them for our anniversary breakfast, and we sat down, and I had this, let me just tell you about it because it was so good. It was like, it's called fruit bruschetta, and it was on a crostini with fresh honey, they drizzled over it, and they made their own like cream cheese, and they put fresh berries and some mint, and you kind of just smeared it on there, and it was so delicious. I had like maybe like, me and Leo shared it. I think there was only like 6 pieces, so I think we had like 3 each, small, but it was so good, and it was fresh, and it was delicious, and like I didn't overdo it. I didn't like, oh my God, you know. I think it's because nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. So I could have ate the whole plate if I wanted to. Sure, I could have. Was I gonna like beat myself up and add cardio on tomorrow, or 20 minutes out of my cardio tomorrow? No, I wasn't, because it's balance. It's, everything is balance. And I feel like that is the key to any type of success. The scale does not mean crap, and it's all about balance. You know, I've recently went and got an in-body scan, and I was thoroughly surprised. If you guys are in the southwest side of the city, there's a place in Oaklawn that does it, and they do in-body scans, and I was thoroughly surprised, right? So I thought my body fat percentage was going to be significantly higher. I thought I was around the 30-35 mark, and I wasn't. I'm only 27% body fat, which is not like awesome, you know, but it was significantly lower. That means I have a lot more muscle on me than I would have thought. I'm not as soft as I thought. My visceral fat, so that means like the fat surrounding your organs, was like pretty low. Like I'm looking good health wise. And you know, and I was like talking to the guy, I was like, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm the scale, and he's like, don't even worry about the scale. It doesn't measure. He's like, you need an in-body scan. You need this. And I was like, all right, cool. So if you find yourself being, and I try to explain this to my mother, you know, the scale isn't going to tell you anything. If you're not pooping, if you're bloated because you've had too much fiber, if you are about to get your period, or, you know, it's just one of those things. If it's humid, I remember when I was in Florida, I was so swollen because of the humidity. You know, each of those things you have to take in consideration, because it's just weight. It's just measuring weight. You know, if you have 5 pounds of poop stuck in your bowels, that's weight. It's not body fat. So that's where body recomp comes, and that's what my goal is. So slowly still working. I'm incorporating a lot more gym work with you guys. I really am getting really excited. My mom and my sister have been working out with me on some days, and I also go to the gym with my dad. So I'm breaking up my workouts in between Planet Fitness, and I go to USA Gym in Bridgeview, which is phenom. If you guys are looking for a more private gym, USA in Bridgeview is phenomenal. It's owned by an IFBB pro. They do a lot of training. A lot of pros come out of that gym. It's really great. So I go in between there and then Planet Fitness with my mom and my sister, which is also another great option. And, you know, I'm really just focusing on moving my body. You know, cardio, I don't do any more than 30 minutes. I'm usually between 25 and 30 minutes of low intensity. I usually try to keep my heart rate around like 125, 130, just so it's in a fat burning mode and not in a muscle burning mode. And that range varies per person. And I do between an hour and a half, 2 hours. If I'm like with my mom and my sister, because we're like doing everything together and I'm kind of watching them and I'm explaining to them what to do, it's about 2 hours. If I'm by myself, I'm usually out of there within like an hour and a half. But I love it. I love it. I'm seeing changes. I'm still struggling with my midsection a lot. That is something that is, you know, I have to get it fixed. That's all. It's not even so much the skin that is like bothering me. It's the fact that I feel like it's kind of pooched out. And I actually just had a visit with you know, you're a woman, you got to go for your yearly. So make sure, ladies, you know, self-checks every month, and make sure you get in for your yearly, because it's important. I know a lot of us put that off because of everything in the world, but get back in there, get all those physicals done. And I was talking to him about it, and I said, you know, look at this, look at my belly. Like when I lay flat, it's fine. I said, but I feel like it's always kind of just out there, you know? And he's like, Danielle, there is no muscle holding your organs in at this point. And he's like, so it's just kind of, you know, it's just loose. There's no tightness in it. And he's like, you know, we're going to have to, you know, fix that. You're just going to have to get those muscles fixed. And I had worried because I started really incorporating a lot of compound movements. And I've noticed I started feeling a lot of soreness in my abs. And I was like, man, I hope I didn't give myself a hernia. And he's like, you didn't, you would know. So I was like, okay, cool. Because, you know, I'm a little crazy. But compound movements and carbs. Like I follow Kendall and Catherine on, is it called KK Fit? They're another really great channel to watch, and they're huge on Instagram. And that's their motto, is like compounds and carbs. And I was like, yes, but you need carbs at specific times to do specific things for myself. But if you're not eating carbs and you are following keto, then you could still have the same goals. It's just you're going to have to make sure that whatever carbs you're eating them right before and right after your workout. So if you're enabling yourself, 25 net carbs, so you're getting probably around a total of like 60 to 80 total carbs, have your low carb wrap and veggies before you get into the gym, and then when you get home, incorporate a little bit more post workout with your protein. So yes, this all can be done while eliminating carbs. But if you are eating carbs, make sure that you are using them for their fullest potential. I'm going to do like a quick body up. I'm just going to show you what I look like dressed, but you guys have seen pictures of me slowly but surely. I have stopped wearing my waist trainer. I got a lot of questions on that. So I was doing the Squeeze Me Skinny waist trainer. I got the long torso. I think it was in like the 10 or 12 inch, the latex one, and I actually had to stop. It caused me, I'm allergic to latex, and I didn't even like put 2 and 2 together until my back had broke out and like cystic, I thought it was cystic acne, but it was truly just a really bad rash. So I had to like eliminate all my supplements and kind of see what was causing it, but it was not even that, it was the waist trainer. So I have to order like a neoprene one. But slowly but surely, just making muscle to mind movements. I try to explain this to my mom too, is form. I've really noticed that form makes a hell of a difference. I think a lot of people, their first thing that they want to do is when they're in the gym is lift heavy stuff, and they're like, oh, I can go heavier, I can go heavier. If your form isn't good, don't go heavier, because yes, you can pull a lot of weight, but if you're like, not doing it right, and you're not even getting the full benefit, and you're gonna hurt yourself, and you don't want to hurt yourself, because then you're gonna be down. So if if maybe you can do like lat pull downs at 70 pounds, but you're just struggling and you're not doing them correctly, but you'll have a really nice form controlling the positive and the negative at 30 pounds, then do the 30 pounds and just increase it. So instead of doing 10 at 70, do like 15 to 18 at 30. You know what I mean? I'm going to start typing out different workouts as well. I'm going to try to show you, like this last video I showed you was glutes and hamstrings. I do 3 leg days a week. So I'll do glutes and hams on one day, I'll do quads on one day, and then I'll do an all over leg routine with heavy weights. So that's where I will start, you guys will see the 670 pound leg presses and stuff like that. I don't do those 3 days a week. I just do not. I only do them 1 day a week, and I make sure I do them with a spotter. All that stuff I do with the heavy weights, I make sure I have somebody there with me to, kind of help me out. Those are usually the days I go with my dad. So I spot him, he spots me. But let me tell you something. My dad is about to be 60 years old in May, and he was on the pec deck, so basically the ones that come in like that. And I think he was at like 320 pounds, and he's like, spot me. And I was like, so I have to like pull the thing over, and I was like, but whatever. Yeah, so the thing is though, is I get a lot of questions where people, I wanted to bring this up about the carbs and stuff like that, is because I get a lot of questions of people afraid. And I get it, because I was afraid too. They're afraid of incorporating food groups that they have eliminated. They're afraid of maybe bad habits coming back in where they're like kind of binging. So if you think about it, if you're on keto, low carb or something like that, or Weight Watchers, and you have a free day, you're like, because you have this mindset that like, this is it. It's like what do they call it? Like when the inmates run the asylum, like you're free, it's lawlessness basically, and you're just like gonna have at it. I don't have those issues because nothing is off limits. I'm the master of my own universe. And if I want to have, if I go over my macros, I track my food. If I go over my macros, then I go over my macros. I'm not going to go shorter the next day, and I'm not going to add cardio. I just know that I went over, and it is what it is. One meal isn't going to ruin. I still give myself 1 treat meal a week. Today I had that fruit bruschetta, and I had some chilaquiles, and I didn't even finish it all. And that's another thing too, like I don't eat until I'm like throwing up. I eat until I'm comfortable, then I'm done. Like I think that's another thing too, that Listening to your body, listen to the hunger cues. Are you hungry or are you bored? Are you full or are you satisfied? Like, don't eat until you're full, eat until you're satisfied. Like, this isn't your last meal. Like, this isn't, you know, the end all be all. Like, there's not going to be any more food left. Like, you know, with your kids, you know, where they like stuff their face because they don't want to share with their siblings. Rebecca does that. You don't have to do that. There's always more food for later on. Eat until you're comfortable. You know, you don't have to make yourself uncomfortable because then you're not even going to enjoy it. You know, food isn't the enemy. The gym isn't the enemy. You aren't your enemy. It's just you have to make up. You have to really have this internal conversation with these things and really make up with yourself and with these other obstacles in your life and understand that together you guys can really have a wonderful relationship and really truly benefit from each and every one of them. Okay, so let's do a little Bonnie show. All right, so I'm gonna kind of bring my shirt up here. Here is, I'm really working on like my thighs here. I have some loose skin right here, so I feel like you don't really see it, but I definitely noticed that, like, even if I stand, you could see I have a little bit definition here. The quads are starting to pop, and even in the back, you could see the hamstrings. My butt is, I mean, my butt is still big, so are my thighs, but it's a lot more perkier. The waist is coming in. A lot of people are asking about, like, I've always had a defined waist. Even when I was bigger, you guys have been here long enough, you guys will remember I've always had definition right here. I've never really had issues. It will go away a little bit, but I definitely feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to see. You could see, like, the obliques coming in a little bit more. And then I'm going to kind of pull this down because I get a lot of questions about this. And everybody will say, oh, Danielle, your lower belly's gone. Just be kind, okay? This is one of those things where I can't help, you know, but I'm working on it. So here is that lower belly. Here is the belly, as you guys can see. I don't think you guys can tell with my clothes. But I just don't want to give you guys a free show here. Like, if I bring it down and, like, you could see, like, it's all of this right here. So, and then to tell with the separation, you could see, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You could see where it goes in right here. And then my separation ends right here. Like right mid-belly, so my separation is all right here. So what they'll do is they're gonna pull all those muscles together and they'll bring everything in, and then they're gonna do incision hip to hip, and then they're gonna cut off this and then pull everything up. So my hope is when I get this fixed, because I mean, you guys can see. When I get this fixed, and you could see, like, even now, like this, I have a tattoo right here. I haven't seen that tattoo. It's like starting to pull out a little bit more. When they do this, so all this will be gone too, and they'll pull it all up. But, you know, that's what it is. It is what it is, you know. I've had 3 beautiful babies, so I'll take it. I'll take whatever I had to. My babies came in this world, and I'm proud. So just ready to get it fixed, though. And then for upper body, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my upper body's looking real good. My back is leaning out. We're starting to see a lot more definition. Even here, I can see, like, I feel like I'm getting a little, my face is always going to be round, but nonetheless, that's kind of what it looks like. So that is kind of the physique update. I wanted to, let me pull up these pantaloons here. If you guys are going to ask about this outfit, it is from Fashion Nova. I've had it for quite some time. It's one of my favorites. This was an extra large, and it's just the pants are gotten too big on me, but it's really comfortable. I didn't know if I showed you guys. I gotta show you guys my shoes. Hold on. Let me show you my shoes. You guys see my shoes? You see them? You see my shoes? Aren't they cool? Aren't they so cool? I wanted these shoes when I was in 6th grade, and we didn't have the money to get them, and Leo bought them for me for our anniversary. Aren't they so cute? But anyways, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys. I mean, maybe I could have, you know, better results, or I could look, you know, leaner, or I could have probably lost more weight, but I am happy. I'm happy, I'm calm, I'm collective, I'm not stressed, I'm not anxious, I'm okay. I'm okay, and this is my life. This isn't a, you know, quick weight loss or anything like that. This is just my life. It's just a journey of my life. And my ultimate goal is when I turn 40, I would love to compete in the wellness category. That's it. So I got 2 years, and that's it. That's the goal. So I would love to hear how you guys are doing. How's your journeys? I haven't made one of these in quite some time, but I thought it was due time. So let me know down below. How's everything going for y'all? All right. My name is Danielle. This is Daniela Diaries. Please do not forget to subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye, friends.